everyone. Welcome back to the Making It Together broadcast. Today we are going to talk a little bit about Spirit Sale and my experience with the platform for my brother-in-law. So a little bit of background on that. I created a Spirit Sale web store to help raise money for my brother-in-law. He is a pastor in a small town called Masontown. And with everything that happened, along with all the other small businesses and everything that had to close during this time, obviously, they were just needing some extra help. So he's continuing to still do his services on Facebook Live, and they've actually been going very well. He's getting a ton of great feedback, but I just wanted to do a little something to kind of help out for that. So I see you guys joining in. I am live on YouTube and Facebook. So of course, we always love seeing where you're joining from. So feel free to comment in and let us know where you're at. And of course, are you guys using Spirit Sale now? Is that something that you have also taken advantage of during this time? The 90-day free trial that we're offering with the platform, and helped out some small businesses in your area, and of course, kind of helped yourself during this time as well with that. So curious to know how many of you are using the platform, or if you're using e-commerce at all aside from social media. I don't do this on the side. So this was actually new for me, even though I do this full time and have learned a lot through just working in the industry for Stahls. It's not something that I ever actually started doing up until this point, whenever I decided, let's do a fundraiser through Spirit Sale for my brother-in-law and just sell some basic t-shirts and hoodies. So I'm going to share my screen with you to show you the store. And then I'm going to just talk a little bit about some resources that I utilize to be able to make the store look really nice and legitimate. Just kind of the process I went through to keep costs low so that all of the donations that people were making through purchases was going directly to them. So first, I set up the store by putting, as a note here, the bridge is accepting direct donations at their PayPal. So I linked that in there in case people just wanted a simple way of just saying, like, here goes $25 towards donation, as opposed to getting a t-shirt, or they have the ability to get a t-shirt out of the donation as well. So that's how I wanted it to go for them. But of course, you could do that any way that you want. And then I just put a basic image on here that I actually sourced from placeit.net, which is a really awesome website where you can take your designs and drop them on models. Especially if you're keeping apparel very basic, like short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve tees, and hoodies. And that's essentially what I was doing for them, because again, like I said earlier, I wanted to keep costs low for production so that most of the fundraising that we got from the purchases went towards them. So that's what we did here. And I used all these images from placeit.net and connected them with just a basic Gildan t-shirt. So I also did some basic stickers, like a window decal or a phone sticker and stuff like that, just so that we could add some extra stuff in there in case somebody wanted something small in order to donate to the church as well. All right, so, and that's the basics. They just select their size. So if someone wanted this long sleeve t-shirt, everything was unisex. So anything that I put in here, you could get it in both women's and men's as a unisex t-shirt. And they just selected their size, selected add to cart, and did their basic checkout process. So it's just like your typical online shopping experience, but it was really easy to set this up for them. I did it within under like an hour or two. And not because the setup took that long, but just because I was branding the website and putting little promos and things throughout, and importing images that were outsourced and not provided by Spirit Sale. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the platform, it's very simple to get started. So I'm under the bridge now, and I'm just going to show you the basic importing of a product. So I just went to the stock products section and selected Sanmar because I'm going to use the brand Gildan because I just think their prices are really good, and I just need basic cotton poly blend apparel here. So that's what I was utilizing for these, right? So if it was just the adult t-shirts, I used the 50/50 Eco Smart one. Actually, no, let's see. I selected the wrong one. So let's go to Gildan. I know it was a 50/50. Oh, here it is, the dry blend. Okay, so this is the one I used for both youth and adult. So it was going to have the same feel and overall quality of product throughout. And I just selected all black, right? So it gave me all the inventory that was available in that, and also price breakdown. So I really like these prices when it comes to Gildan, and you know it's going to keep my costs low so that whatever people are buying, the rest of the proceeds will go to the church. And I just took their logo and dropped it right on there, which I sourced right from my brother-in-law. So he just sent me that, and I imported it through the DIY designer. So that's why I have that selected for this. And then I just imported the product. So once I import that product, it's going to automatically start loading images for me. However, I want to swap those out with the mock-ups that I'm getting from placeit.net. So let's head over there real quick so that you guys can see a lot of the different stuff they have to offer. So placeit.net, really great resource for just getting quality images. I'm a firm believer in quality images really help sell a product. So if I were to just take my logo that the pastor gave me, I would have just dropped it on here and it would have looked like a simple digital mock-up. What placeit.net is makes it look like it's a real garment that has actually been printed and utilized for model shots. So placeit.net, you can do a subscription, but they also have free mock-ups as well. So let's head over there and I'll show you how easy this is to use if you haven't used it before. All right, so let's say we want to use just a basic t-shirt. Let's go with this one. All right, so all I have to do is select the color of the garment that I want and really just upload my design. So shirt color is listed here. I'm selecting black, and then I just upload my image. I apologize, my internet is running really slow, but I just upload my image, and all I did was took the SV or the PNG file that he sent me, and I'm just sizing it to fit the model the best way. So this square here is representing what that shirt where the print location is on the shirt. So I do want to go up a little bit higher. So it's on the chest region, and I can see what that's going to look like. So if I want to make that a little larger, I can. And then it's just going to take that and make it look like it's one with the shirt. All right, so that's exactly how I sourced the images for this store, and it was so simple. They also had the images for the car decal, the phone sticker, all of these cute little model shots that just build value in your store overall. And all I had to do at this point was just go to product images, and because they already include these images for you, all you have to do is X these out and upload the image you want to utilize to show the product that you're selling in the store. All right, so really, really simple stuff. But we're also going to walk through the process because I haven't fulfilled these orders yet. The store just closed a few days ago. I did reopen it back up so that I could show you guys the process that I was going through with Spirit Sale and just kind of how easy it is to use. Now, we do have a ton of training on Spirit Stahls, so I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, visit some of the trainings that we've done so that you can see more of the back end. But right now we are doing a 90-day free trial by using the promo code SPIRIT, SPIRIT. So if you guys are interested in getting started with it for a free 90-day trial, you definitely want to do that now because it's going to be coming to an end by I believe Friday of this week. If that changed, I apologize, but I do know that they're planning on ending that promo. So if you haven't gotten a chance to get started with it, now would definitely be the time. So now we're actually going to print the design that I have to start fulfilling. So the product that I chose to print this is called Sport Film Light. And it comes in a few different colors, but I love this product. I love the way it feels on the garment. It has a really nice finish. It's thin and it's really easy to use and super easy to weed. It's actually what I used in my webinar this morning. If you joined me there for the CADWorks Live tutorial that I posted about in the heat press for a profit group. And that is, so that's the white color that I used in that design. And it's so easy to weed. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process of me actually printing one of these t-shirts. I happen to order, so if I mess up the first one, at least it will be mine. So we're going to print my shirt. All right, so I already have the design loaded up in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to share my screen with you once more in exactly the width that I wanted. So at this point, all I have to do is hit make it. I don't need to be breaking apart any of these. Now, if I was going to start fulfilling a bunch of these orders, I would start with a larger sheet of material on my cutting mat, but just for the sake of this live, I'm only doing just my shirt. But when I start to fulfill the rest of these, because I'm going to keep them all the same size for adult and then drop it down a couple inches for the youth garments, I'm going to start ganging these all up on my 12 by 12 width so that I can maximize the space and the time spent in cutting these out. All right, so all I have to do is hit the Make It button and mirror and connect the Cricut by plugging in the USB. And that will start reading that device as soon as that's plugged in. I already have the knob on the Cricut dial set to iron on, right? And that is the perfect setting for cutting sport film light because it is a really thin product, very similar to fashion film. I'm going to turn on fast mode. And since this is all reading for me, I can now go ahead and click the Cricut button so that it will send that design to cut. All right, so I do see some questions and comments coming in, so we'll go ahead and visit these. Scrolling all the way to the top. All right, hi Matt, Mike, Mo, thank you guys for commenting in and letting me know where you're joining from. Micah from Kentucky, Patrice from Texas. Hi Patrice, nice to see you joining us again. Another person from Kansas City. All right, so Antonio says he just started using it for Spirit Sale, and he loves it. Yeah, so it's a really great platform. Mike Bondi is currently using a different platform. Curious to know if you guys are using different platforms. What are you guys using? I heard Shopify is another really popular one people are using for selling apparel. All right, Jody asked, is this offer available in Canada? I didn't know about this. Thanks. So I don't think it is yet, but we are currently working on getting it available in Canada. Hi, Darius. Thanks for joining. All right. People from New York, Sweden, Connecticut, Oregon. All right, awesome. All right, so our design is about 70% done, and then we will go ahead and weed this out and heat apply it. There are two blades that come with the Cricut machine. The one that I'm using today is the fine point blade, which is in the silver holder. There is another blade that comes with it. It looks like this. It's in a black holder. So it doesn't have the blade in it, but there is another blade sitting in that little compartment of the cutter. But this helps cut thicker items. So far I've only used the fine point blade for all of my heat transfer vinyl items. But if I started doing like twills or really thick products, like I know some people are cutting out wood planks on the Cricut, which sounds crazy, but they're doing it, is something they would definitely use that deeper cut blade for. All right, so my design is all cut out, and now we'll go ahead and weed away the excess material. So I can close that up. All right. So I'm using the Stahls Easy Weeder. There is a weeder that comes with Cricut, but it's a little bit thicker. So I still prefer the Stahls weeder because it really gets some of that fine detail and intricacy out of the heat transfer material. All right, so I am going to trim this up because I do have a lot left here that I can use for another design. Could probably be for my youth one. All right. And this is why I chose Sport Film Light for these applications, because it is going to be a breeze in production because of how easy this weaves away. Now, keep in mind, this logo is very simple too. It's pretty basic. There's not a ton of like fine detail to it, but I just think that material weeds away so easily. There are some heat transfer vinyls out there that just have like an extremely tacky carrier that I would definitely use if this had a ton of detail in. But since it's a pretty basic one, I need to look at my design one more time because I need to be able to see what comes out of here. All right, so this outer line comes out. All right, so yeah, the Sport Film Light, pricing wise, very similar to Premium Plus, I noticed. All right, so that's as simple as it gets. Very easy to weed. The backing hardly tacky. You can really hardly hear my finger sticking to that. But yeah, really clean logo, simple design. And it's going to look great on the black garment because this heat transfer vinyl really holds a true opacity, right? Even with 50-50 blends, some polyesters can be dyed, but this is a really great product. So I'm going to preheat my t-shirt, right? So again, we are using the Gildan Dry Blend 50-50 garment. And this is perfect for my 9x12 press because it's just a standard full front. I'm not doing any oversized designs or full backs or anything like that, keeping it very simple. Now I'm just going to place my design. So my collar on my t-shirt is just hanging off the back. So I'm going to make sure I'm at least 3 or 4 fingers down from that. And make sure I'm centered by just measuring each side with 3 fingers as well. All right, I'm going to grab my cover sheets. And my heat press is going to do the rest of the work for me. So I'm at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. I know this is a bit of a cooler peel, so I'll just peel that after it cools down a little bit. All right, so we'll just place this down, get some of that heat out of there. So some people will keep a cookie sheet on hand off to the side of the heat press. and that'll cool it down a little faster because it's metal. I just use my wood table here, and I'll bring this down as I peel away this carrier. You can see it has a fairly matte finish. It's not hardly glossy at all. And this product lasts long as well. So just like all of our other heat transfer vinyls, this one is a 50 wash cycle and it lasts super long. So great product, really easy to work with and has a really nice price point. So whenever I was considering all of the production that I was going to be doing for the first time, I just wanted to make sure I had something really easy to use that was going to work for the 50-50 blend and still look and feel great and not compromise the finish of the t-shirt at all. All right, so hopefully the rest of them go this well since mine ended up fine. All right, so Rael says, wow, this is pretty cool. I need to make my own t-shirts. Yeah, really easy. It's so easy to get started, and it is really like it doesn't cost a lot to get started either. So for example, I have a Cricut here that was around $300. The heat press is around $300. So you can get started at very low cost and then work on building your way up. So some people even start out with a home iron. Now, depending on where you're planning on going with your business, a heat press is ultimately what you want to be able to get started doing t-shirts. I am lucky enough, or blessed, if you will, that I started out working in the industry as opposed to selling t-shirts. So I kind of learned all the ins and outs from working at Stahls, what products work best with what substrates and whatnot. But you really learn that as you go. So it's super easy once you get the hang of it, and it's really easy to get started too with all of the different medias out there. I will say heat transfer vinyl is probably one of my favorites to work with because I don't mind the weeding. I'm not doing a ton of production anyway because this is honestly the first job I've ever done as far as t-shirts go. So I don't find heat transfer vinyl to be that painful of a process to go through. Now, if I was going to get like 50 plus orders, I probably would have went with screen print transfers from Transfer Express because I know the quality and grade of those products is high end and feels great on garments, and they offer a variety that apply at different temperatures. So if I need a product that is going to adhere to a garment that is heat sensitive, so a lot of garments with 100% polyester are heat sensitive and tend to leave a big heat print box or scorching or a shininess. There's so many different names for it, but ultimately what is happening to the polyester is it's burning, and there's no way to avoid that unless you're just dropping your temperature. So they have great products that apply around 300 degrees and 280. So I know that if I don't want to use heat transfer vinyl because I want to spend less time in production, then those transfers are going to be a great option. And I can also heat apply heat sensitive fabrics as well. Cher says, great information, very helpful. Thank you, Cher. Always happy to help. All right. All right, Maria asks, how much do you sell something like that? So I'll share my screen one more time so that you guys can see what I priced everything at. Now, the demographic, I wanted to take into consideration where his church is and just the members there in general. They aren't really willing to pay for a higher price, right? So I needed to make sure that I was at a good price point that made sense for them, so that they would be willing to take part in the donations and buy some t-shirts and apparel or stickers or whatever. So I did some low-end stuff, such as the car decal and the sticker. And then, like I mentioned earlier, kept my costs low with heat transfer vinyl and basic cotton poly blend t-shirts and hoodies so that I wasn't going too high in price for that particular demographic. So really there's some research that needs to go into it as well. Know who the customer base is, know what they're willing to pay. I spoke with the pastor to see what good price points would make sense for them. And that is ultimately what made this a success for them and for the store. So this is the pricing that I set. I've talked to different decorators that are in different areas that would have priced this $5 or $10 more per item. So it really goes into kind of knowing your audience and customer base and what they're willing to pay for. All right, so it looks like that's all of the questions that came in. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. We will be back with you again tomorrow. Josh will be going live at 11. And make sure you stay tuned for Friday for a really cool product reveal that we will be launching. Josh is actually hosting a event. All right, so if you guys haven't seen that yet, you can find it on the Stahls All Things Heat Printing Facebook page. And you can also see it in the Heat Press for Profit group. So make sure you join to see that product announcement, and I will see you there. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day.